For an hour at the BMO field, Canada did almost everything a host nation is supposed to do on the opening night, except the one thing that mattered. They pressed, they pinned Bosnia back, they ran up the better chances, and yet they trailed. Because Bosnia came to Toronto with a plan that did not need much of the ball: defend deep, stay compact, and win the game from a dead ball. For 21 minutes, it worked perfectly. For 57, it held. And then a substitution changed the night, if not quite the result. Today, we break down how Jesse Marsh's relentless press created a siege without a breakthrough, how Sergei Barbares weaponized a set piece and then parked the bus, and how Canada salvaged a historic first point, but left two more behind on home soil. So let's get into it. Hello and welcome to the European Footballer Adda. This is the tactics room where we look past the scoreline and into the structures, the decisions, and the small margins that actually decide football matches. This is our coverage of the Group B at FIFA World Cup 2026. Our subject is the co-hosts opener, Canada against Bosnia and Herzegovina in Toronto. As you can see from this match momentum chart, that most of the work was done by Canada with a little bit of bits and spurts of activity from Bosnia, where each bar represents 1 minute of the match. Bigger bars indicate a higher chance of scoring at that time. A series of bigger bars for one team means they are enjoying a strong spell of dominance. Based on that approach, we have divided the match into sections as divided by the key match events. We will go through it in sequence. The two opposing plans, the first hour siege, the set piece that punished Canada against run of play, and Bosnia's decision to defend deep, and the substitution who rescued a point. Finally, we will give our tactical verdict. Both managers arrived with a clear identity and the contrast defined the match. Under Jesse Marsh, Canada have become one of the most aggressive pressing teams in this part of the world, a side that wants the ball high, hunts it in packs when they lose it, and turns territory into pressure. They set up in a 4-4-2 built to dominate. Marsh left captain Alphonso Davies on the bench, a cautious call, protecting his most important player early in a long tournament. So Canada's threat ran through Jonathan Davis up top, Tejan Buchanan, and other players who were on to provide the width. The legs of Stefan Estaquio and Ismail Kone in midfield, with the fullbacks pushed high to pin Bosnia and Herzegovina in. Sergei Barbares' Bosnia and Herzegovina answered with the underdog's coherent plan. A 4-3-3 on paper that defends as a deep, narrow block. Stay compact, deny David and the runners any space between the lines, and trust two specific weapons. The first is the counter, where Lukić, Demirovic and Bayraktarevic breaking at speed, and Edin Dzeko was also in the reserve. The second and the one Barbares clearly trusted most is the set piece. Bosnia came to Toronto intending to win the game from a dead ball. So, think about it later. Hold that thought. For the opening 20 minutes, Canada's plan worked in every respect but the decisive. They owned the ball and the territory. The fullbacks held the width high, and the front two pressed Bosnia's build-up so aggressively that the away side could barely string passes together. By the XG, Canada would finish the night ahead 1.25 to Bosnia's 0.98, and most of that edge was built early. But a siege is only as good as its final ball, and this is where Davis's absence quietly mattered. Without his penetration on the left, Canada's pressure was real but a little blunt. Plenty of crosses and half chances against a packed box, not the clean line-breaking moments that turned dominance into goals. Bosnia, for their part, were content. They conceded territory by design, kept their shape and waited. In a deep block game, 0-0 at 20 minutes is exactly what the underdog wants. And on 21 minutes, the dead ball lands exactly as Bosnia drew it up. A delivery into the Canadian box, and Cyle Larin, the captain, attacks it first, lancing a header across the face of the goal. That flick of Larin is the whole move. It takes the ball away from Canadian keeper Crepiu and the defenders watching the ball, and it drops to Lukić of Bosnia, who finishes it from a close range. That was his first international goal, and Bosnia had the lead against the run of play. I want to be precise about what this goal is because it is tempting to call it a smash and grab. It isn't luck. It is the single most rehearsed phase in the Bosnian plan paying off. They conceded the ball and the territory for 20 minutes precisely so they could be level, organized and dangerous at a set piece. Canada's marking broke down on the flick, the across the goal header, which was the hardest delivery to defend because it attacks the blind side. Bosnia did not get lucky, they got rewarded for a plan. Now with the lead taken, Barbares did exactly what he had told reporters he would. He parked the bus, Bosnia dropped even deeper, the front three tucked back to add bodies, and the whole side defended in two compact banks in front of their own box. This is a deliberate, disciplined choice to protect the lead and dare Canada to find a way through a crowded penalty area. But every defensive decision has a cost, and here it is one on the board. By dropping so deep, Bosnia gave up their counter-attack. The players who would have relieved the pressure, Lukić and Dzeko, were now so far from goal that breaking out meant a 60-yard sprint into traffic. So Bosnia surrendered the ball, the territory and the initiative entirely and accepted a simple bargain: absorb everything and trust the block. It nearly worked. It held for 57 minutes, and the longer you defend that deep against a side committing numbers, the more you invite exactly one outcome, that is a goal from a sustained pressure. Playing at home, Marsh did what his football is built for. He turned the pressure up rather than down. Canada went more direct and more vertical. The fullbacks advanced almost as auxiliary wingers, and crucially, he changed his personnel. Fresh attacking legs came on to run at the tiring deep defenders, and among them was Cyle Larin, a penalty box striker whose entire job is to be in the right place when the volume of chances finally tells. Tactically, this is the correct response to a low block. You cannot patiently pass your way through 11 men behind the ball. You have to overload the box, 4-second balls and rebounds, and accept a little defensive risk to do it. Canada loaded the area, kept the ball pinned in Bosnia's half, and simply increased the number of moments in which something might break their way. And on 78 minutes, the volume finally told. Canada worked a move into the box, and Larin, on the pitch for barely 2 minutes, produced a beautiful strike to beat Vasily and level it 1-1. That detail that says everything is basically he scored 121 seconds after coming off the bench. Now that is what you call an impact substitution in the purest sense. Note where this goal is coming from. It's not a moment of individual magic out of nothing. It is the predictable, earned consequence of camping a fresh striker in a box that has been under siege for an hour. When you defend that deep for that long, fatigue sets in. The second balls start falling to the attacking side, and eventually a finisher gets the half yard he needs. Larin's quality made the finish. Marsh's pressure and his substitution manufactured the chance. And then the game turned frantic. Bosnia lost their captain Kolasinac to injury, and they had to reshuffle with Bernic. Nikola Katic was booked for cynically stopping a dangerous Larin counter, the kind of tactical foul a deep block has to commit when it is stretched. Canada smelled a winner and Larin nearly got it. The save of the night was when in the closing moments, Larin was poised to complete the comeback. Tarik Muharemovic threw himself into a diving block inside the 6-yard box to preserve the draw. That single intervention is the difference between a Bosnian defeat and a Bosnian point. So as we take a look at the match momentum again with the overall key stats, we see that Canada's XG was 1.24 compared to 0.98 of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Canada had the lion's share of ball possession, lion's share of total shots, but you can see that the big chances are equally divided. That's because at least for some portion of the match, Bosnia did have their plan working for them. But Canada ultimately had the benefit of parking their team completely in the Bosnian half, and that's how you see the touches in the opposition box is almost 3 times that of Bosnia. So let's look at the verdict now. Let's take Marsh first. His side did almost everything right structurally. They pressed hard, dominated territory, created the better chances, and his in-game management was proactive to go more direct, throw bodies forward, and trust a penalty box finisher off the bench. The Larin substitution was vindicated inside 2 minutes. The one honest criticism is the cutting edge. A team this dominant, even without Davis, should turn a 1.25 XG and an hour of pressure into more than one single goal. Barbares is the more interesting case to grid. His plan was excellent and very nearly perfect. The set-piece weapon delivered exactly the lead it was designed to produce, and the low block did its job for 57 minutes. The question as ever with this approach is whether defending that deep for that long is sustainable. And the answer here was almost. He did not lose the game. A single lapse against a fresh striker cost him the win, and his own defenders' heroics rescued the point. On the balance of the night, a draw flatters neither side and disappoints both. This was a classic proactive versus reactive contest, and both managers got their opening plan right. Bosnia's compact set-piece-led approach delivered the lead it was built for, whereas Canada's press and possession generated the chances they needed. The difference between a Canadian win and this draw was a thin one, finishing and a brilliant block. For Canada, the takeaways are mixed but mostly encouraging. The press is real, the dominance is real, and they have a striker in Larin who can change a game from the bench. And they did all of it while resting Alphonso Davies. The worry is the same one that haunts every dominant side that meets a low block: end product. With Switzerland and Qatar to come in Group B, turning territory into goals is the entire job. For Bosnia, this is a resilient, valuable point on the road and a vindication of Barbares' identity. Organized, set-piece, dangerous, hard to beat. The caution is that you cannot rely on defending your own 6-yard box for 90 minutes against better sides and expect a diving block every time. But as a template for a tournament debutant in a tough group, it's a serious one. So the bottom line is that Canada were the better team and won a place in their own history. Bosnia were the smarter team for an hour and very nearly stole the lot. The hosts got their first ever point, and the nagging feeling remains that they should have had all three. That was a home opener that gave Canada a historic first point and a familiar frustration, and gave Bosnia a smash and grab that nearly became a heist. 2 coherent plans decided by 2 moments and 1 diving block. I'd value your take on it. Were Canada simply wasteful? Or did Bosnia's block deserve more than the point it nearly stole? And was resting Davies the right call for a host nation chasing a first ever win? Leave your analysis in the comments below. I'll read them and I'll pin the sharpest tactical points. If this breakdown was interesting to you, We would request you to hit the like button for this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to European Footballer Adda. Hit the bell icon too, as we will be analyzing all the significant fixtures of this tournament right here in the tactics room. We will be back with another match tactics discussion from the World Cup. Until then, thank you for watching the tactics room. Study the game, and I'll see you at the next whistle.